What's up, guys? It's me, Cyrus. Well, I wanted to talk to you for a minute about a good friend of mine who goes by the name Chris Courage on YouTube. He's a guy who has been a friend of mine for a while, and I really want to recommend him to you if you're looking for somebody to modify some old video game systems or even repair some video game systems, because he's done several different projects for me. I did pay him to do them, and he's not paying for this as a commercial or anything. He doesn't. I mean, I did tell him I was going to do something talking about his stuff, but he didn't ask me to do this. He's not paying for this. This is just me trying to celebrate a friend of mine who does awesome work, who I have to recommend to you if you're looking to have some work done. So his name's Chris Courage. Let's take a look at just some of the stuff that he's been doing for me. And here's the first thing up, which is my Atari 7800. Okay, so this is my Atari 7800 console. It's one that I bought used off of eBay, and it's a little bit banged up, but not too bad. It's in pretty decent shape, but it works great, and I thoroughly enjoy this console. Plays all the 2600 games, 7800 games. It's just awesome. Of course, the downside of the Atari 7800, just like the 2600, is it does RF output, and that's it. So he did do a modification on this for me, and here it is on the side. And it's audio video composite. Puts out a very good signal, and really increases the quality of what's possible for streaming these games or recording these games, or even just playing these games on a modern TV. I patched this through my RetroTink, which is a line doubler upscaler, and it converts that composite with a very clean signal. Most of these super duper retro consoles, these older ones like these, I don't think you need anything more than composite. I know that some people can patch in like S-Video or even like RGB or something like that. I think that's kind of unnecessary, especially if you want to play on one of these older TVs that doesn't have all those inputs. And my CRT that I have, it does support S-Video, but it doesn't do RGB or anything like that. So this is a pretty good solution. But let's take a look at some games running on the Atari 7800, and you can see how this looks with the composite mod completed. Okay, of course, Mario Brothers is an awesome game, and the 7800 version I think is actually pretty cool. What about Pole Position 2? You ever seen that for 7800? It was actually the back-end game. So if you ever bought a 7800 brand new, that's what came with it. Alright. And we'll just do the test race. It's another one of those games that you can definitely see the noise if you're trying to play this through an RF signal with these solid colors. Looks pretty good. Another one of my favorite games for the 7800 is Dig Dug. It's a really good version. Let's check that out. All right, here we go. Oh boy, that was terrible. Oh, wow. Oh, you should definitely do better than I am right now at this game. I don't know why I'm doing so bad. Oh, gosh. But the game looks good, and it sounds good. The great thing about the Atari 7800 is it can play 2600 games. Almost all of them. There's only a couple that I think have issues. And if you're trying to capture footage, whether it's, you know, doing some weird roundabout VCR solution, or if you're using a mod like I have, there's only a couple of games you might still have some issues trying to capture footage from. Like, for example, Asteroids, because of all the flickering that happens on the screen. It's a little weird. The 7800 version of Asteroids is fine. Just the 2600 version, a little weird. This mod works great for your CRT TVs, no problem there, but there are still some issues with capturing original games on original hardware, even with a mod like this. But a lot of games work great like this one. Okay, this down here is my TurboGrafx 16 with my CD-ROM attachment, and the CD-ROM had actually stopped working. It just, you know, these things are old and eventually things happen. It had been worked on before I bought it. This is one that I bought off of eBay in like 2016, I think. And it had had the gear replaced inside of this. But the laser had not really been, it had been like, I guess, cleaned up and tweaked a little bit. But over time, it just slowly started to fail. And one day I tried to run some games on this, and the CD wouldn't spin. So I sent it to Chris, and Chris was trying to repair the CD-ROM just to get it to spin stuff and everything. But he was having trouble getting it to read copied games like CDRs. So he's like, hey, as long as you're only playing retail games, it's fine. But if you're going to play like CDRs, you probably need to have the laser replaced. And if you want to do that, I can do it for you. But, you know, he gave me a rundown on what that would entail. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to do that, because I don't actually own any retail CDs anymore for this. Everything I have is copied CDs. So he did it. He did the work, did it very quickly. And this thing runs better than it ever did before I ever even got it. It runs as good as my Duo, which is amazing. It runs very, very good. It spins well. I haven't had any problems with it not being able to reach sectors or tracks or anything like that. The sound is good. Everything is great. I'm in love with my TurboGrafx 16 all over again. So thank you, Chris, for repairing this thing and getting it going, replacing the laser, and replacing everything else that needed to be fixed to get it working. Very fair price on that, and I couldn't be happier. This thing's amazing. And here we go with my modified Intellivision. Again, he modified this to support composite video, and here it is going into my RetroTink. And now that I have the LTO flash, it makes my Intellivision like a whole different kind of experience. It works great, obviously. Just another amazing job. I really appreciate that, and I just wanted to show you that. And yeah, we could take a look at some games running on this right now and show you what, why I'm so excited about it and what's so cool. And Night Stalker looks fantastic. This is with my, obviously my LTO flash cartridge and with the AV mod. Oops, wrong button. It's really hard to get a decent picture out of this unless you do some sort of modification to the hardware. Just especially with like the solid color backgrounds like this, you just see so much noise. Definitely looks great here. Sounds good too. Check out a little bit of Astro Smash. Yeah, you can see it looks good and sounds good. I'll try to get to the first color change so you can see the, there you go. You can see the blue looks really good. There's not a whole bunch of noise or distortion or anything like that. Looks really nice. And we should check out one of these awesome new homebrew games for sure. And see how that looks and runs. Yep, Super Mario Brothers. Let's check it out. This is Intellivision, by the way. Well, as it just so happens, I got this package in the mail today, and this is my ColecoVision, which has also been AV modded. I haven't even opened it yet. So I'm going to open it and let's take a look at it. Okay, I cut it open, so we can get inside pretty easily now. Let's see what we got in here. Okay, all kinds of, I can like flatten these out and read these, and now I have a newspaper too. Not really, I'm not gonna mess with all that. Unusual packing method, but it's actually kind of exactly the way I sent it to him. I put these in for extra reinforcement. He just sent them back to me that way. And everything seems to be packed extremely well. In case you're wanting any work done, you can rest assured every single time he shipped anything from me, it's been packed extremely well. Yeah, so that's the console in that. And here's the power supply, packed very well. Something else, that might be the super game module with the cartridge. Oh no, here's the cartridge. That's my Atari Max Pro cart. And that should be everything. I don't think there would be anything else in here. Alright, let's get this out of the way and get back to the actual good stuff. I'm going to open these up and we'll take a look at the work. Okay, let's see if we can get into this sucker. There we go. I don't even need to cut the end of this probably. Yep, there's the cartridge. Like I said, he packed everything really well. John Snow is over here playing with the packing stuff. What are you doing, John? The power supply. And you gotta, I respect him trying to take care of this power supply because these things are huge. And I mean, you can replace these fairly cheaply. That it's not like too crazy. They have like modern power supply solutions that are like USB powered and stuff like that too, which is probably a good idea to do something like that because this thing's massive. The only thing I'll tell you, here you go, Johnson, bubble wrap. The only thing I'll tell you is be careful. I'm trying to replace these because the connector on the end is not a standard connector that you would see for a lot of stuff out there. So just be aware of that. It's a huge power supply. Okay, and as John continues to enjoy his packing material, what are you doing, John? What are you doing? You having a good time? As long as he continues to do that, we're going to open up this. This is the actual console, obviously. So let's see, how do we want to get into it? Definitely don't want to damage my console. Every time you ship something out, I mean, I don't know how you feel about stuff like this, but every time I ship something out, I kind of hold my breath and hope that everything goes well. Because you never know, post office or UPS, whoever it is you're shipping with, sometimes it can be pretty scary. They lose stuff, things get delayed, things get damaged, all kinds of stuff happens. Sorry, I had to pick that up so I could get into this. Alright, and there we go. There is the ColecoVision. And the mod is on the back side. That's nice. Sometimes he'll do them on the side, and this is the first one I've had where he did it on the back. Just depends on where the components are and how easy it is to do. But it's good to have them different sometimes. If you have everything on the same side, it could be, you know, trying to get cables and everything figured out could be a little tricky. But let's take a look here. Hopefully you can see pretty well. I'm gonna turn the light. Yeah, let's turn the light on here on this thing. Okay, there we go. Let's just show you some of the detail here. Very good work. Look at that. I haven't tested it though, so we're going to test it. Now, what's interesting about this, Chris Courage, link in the description. Check out his stuff. You can get some mod work done. He's very good. Anyway, what he told me about the ColecoVision is very interesting. So this one was delayed because he had to understand, like he needed to study this a little bit because he'd never done a ColecoVision like this before. And he's like, yeah, I want to do it. I just haven't ever done it before, so I want to learn about it. So he studied it. He bought a kit, like the parts he would need. It was like a special kit he ordered for this. And, you know, I told him that I had seen that there might be some trouble with this thing, with the Super Game module. Like if you wanted to AV mod your ColecoVision, there might be some issues getting audio out of this. So anyway, he started to work on it, and he ran into that problem where he wasn't getting audio out of this. So what he ended up doing was he combined two different methods of doing his mod to where he gets the video out the way he was planning, basically, and then the audio, he got it from the RF output. So it just matches up. It's all internal. Like, you don't see it, obviously. It all happens inside the console. But he was able to route the audio that way so that I get the audio from the Super Game Module games and the regular games. So if you're ever going to have your ColecoVision AV modded or RGB modded or whatever, make sure, if you're interested in doing these modules, especially the Super Game module, make sure you talk to them about this, because you might end up not getting all the audio out of your console, and then I can't even imagine. You'd be super disappointed if you went to go play your system and weren't able to actually enjoy it. Speaking of which, let's take a look at my AV modded console in action. Let's check out this new AV mod. Alright, here's Pac-Man Collection. It's a homebrew collection of Pac-Man that was made 2008, as you can see, and it's just phenomenal. Let's see how it looks with the mod on the ColecoVision. And also how it sounds, because this game has tremendous sound and music. And we'll check out something else. All right, here's Galaga for the Super Game module. All right. Okay, let's check out something else. Okay, let's look at the original Donkey Kong release for the ColecoVision. Not enhanced, not the special new versions, just the old school regular one. Which is still one of the best versions. All right. Ah, didn't quite make it. A little tricky with this controller. Let's look at something else. Here's a pretty cool one. It's called Mecha 9. It's one of those games that have come out after the life of the ColecoVision. And it's just an awesome game. It shows the potential of what this hardware can do. It's really cool. If you like shooters, or if you're a fan of the NES, you probably like this game because it basically looks looks like an NES game. It sounds like one too. All right. That AB mod's looking really good. Well, that pretty much wraps this up, and I just want to thank Chris again for all of his hard work, for the projects that he's done for me, modding my Intellivision, my Atari 7800, my ColecoVision, and repairing my TurboGrafx CD. I can't thank you enough. And guys, seriously, check him out. If you got a problem, you got some hardware that's having issues, or if you're looking to get something modded, you know, one of these old retro game consoles, look him up. Look him up. I think it's worth it. I think you'll find that that he does quality work and at a good price. So it's not sponsored content. This is just my buddy that I really appreciate, and I hope that you guys will give him a chance if you need something done. So that's pretty much it. Sorry for rambling so long. I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.